on the Cavalier Daily at UVA. What more could they want? So I waited for the offers to roll in. Well, I have news for you. For most of us, offers never just roll in. And I received one letter in the mail. I dropped off 60, I received one. Not from the New York Times, not from the Chicago Tribune, but from a news organization I didn't even know existed. One I didn't even remember applying to, the Air Force Times. To this day, I have the letter. I have the letter framed on my desk at work. It's right there every day. For 30-some years it's been there. Of course, it's a rejection letter. Of course. But the editor had taken the time to give me some advice. In a kindly but direct way, he told me not to send out a canned letter to everyone, because that gives the impression I'm just blanketing the field and not really interested in a particular newspaper. And he also said, and this kills me, he also said it would be a good idea to proofread my letter more carefully. Because when applying for a writing job, the cover letter necessarily becomes a sample of your wares, and frankly, the syntax in your second paragraph is a disaster. These are direct quotes I will never forget. I don't think I even finished reading the letter. I was too embarrassed, too humiliated, too frustrated. I vowed that one day I'll show this man. I'll prove to him and myself that I have the goods. I used this letter as motivation to do better, to be better. These jackets are hot. Right. 10 years later, when I was about 29 and working at the Philadelphia Inquirer, I won my first journalism award, a third place in a state press association. The award wasn't much, but to me, at the time, it was something, a symbol of sorts, a confirmation that I was doing good work at a great American newspaper. And I decided it was time to write that editor from the Air Force Times and thank him and tell him how much his letter meant to me and motivated me. He had taught me a bitter but important lesson. I called the Air Force Times and the editor had retired and was living on Mullet Lake in northern Michigan. And they gave me his address and I wrote him. This was still, of course, way before email. Okay? I wrote him, I included a copy of the letter he'd mailed me, thinking he'd probably forgotten all about it. I got back a letter from him in like 2 days. He was so grateful that I had written it. He told me he felt terrible after writing me that letter, and 10 minutes after mailing it, had the deepest regrets. He feared that he'd taken an ambitious young journalist and slapped him down, chased him away from a career in journalism. He was so pleased I was at a good newspaper and enjoying a satisfying career. Well, roll the clock another 10 years, and now I'm 39 and I win the Pulitzer Prize, journalism's highest honor, for a series of stories I wrote about people facing the end of life and all the changes that were going on in American society and the choices people had to make as they approached death. It was an intense series, intimate and powerful, and took me 8 months to report and write. This man on Mullet Lake, this editor, was the first person I wrote after I won the prize. Who would ever have thought I began when I wrote? And I sent him my series of stories. And he wrote back right away again. And he had the wisest response. He told me that as wonderful as the Pulitzer is, that when I'm his age, what I will really treasure is the work I did, not the recognition it received. This was important, meaningful journalism, he wrote me. It would help people, and that was worth savoring. My daughter, who is here tonight, read the speech last night and said, "Dad, this guy sounds an awful lot like Dumbledore." The point of my story is only to show you that life is long, that you will make mistakes, that you will be rejected, that you will fail, you will embarrass yourself, and that's all okay. In fact, that's great. But you will grow and you will ultimately succeed. Remember, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but I was just one of you, right where you are. The important thing is to keep learning, keep improving yourself, keep striving. Don't be distracted by the noise and shallowness and madness of our society all around you, by what other people think is important. Trust your instincts. 8 publishers rejected my book, Rocky Stories, before the night he finally agreed to take the risk and publish it. And it was one of the best-selling books he ever had. Find meaningful and worthwhile things to do with your life. Engage, explore, and keep an open mind. Life will surprise you. I loved journalism and newspapering, but when an editor at the Inquirer asked me to write about aging issues, like end of life, all my colleagues at the newspaper, all of them, warned me against it. Ugh, they groaned. Old people. Why would you want to write about old people? But I found meaningful, important, and satisfying work there. I found an opportunity to be creative and really challenge myself. I found great joy and purpose and success in a place I least expected to find it. And that was a very important lesson for me. The world can be a challenging place, especially with our current economy. But I believe you all are well prepared to go forward. You all are Annandale Habs. And above all, stay positive, stay hopeful, try to celebrate life every day. I wish you the very, very best, and I thank you again from all my heart for this wonderful honor. Thank you very much, and good luck.